Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Yo, Kel back, and we're back with a great video of Rematch. So, they added another feature focus. This time, it's going to be the push ball and control mechanics. Again, this game, I'm going pro in. So, let's get into it. So, understanding these mechanics, got some new gameplay as well. I'm just kind of going to read their posts as well as watch the video. Let's see what we're getting into here. Rematch control and push ball. Boom, boom, boom. Passive ability, control. Bop. Okay, that's this you kind of possession. Vulnerable in possession. Alright, damn, getting push ball, release possession. Push ball. Okay. Okay, oh, well, that kind of like a dribble. I wonder, wait. Ooh, okay, hold on. We're putting a little finesse on the Bessie. I like that. Okay, so what it seems, okay, so pretty much passive ability. When you're in possession of the ball, you can get hit. And when you're not in possession, you can't get hit. Pretty much. It seems. Which, you know, that actually kind of makes sense when you're thinking about it. Because otherwise it would kind of become people tackling other players who aren't even in the vicinity to cut off like future pass routes. And I kind of feel like that would defeat the purpose of the game a little bit. However, now that I'm curious about, or what I'm curious about, is if this is a push mechanic. Actually, I'm just gonna skip to it. I'm gonna skip to it right here. The rainbow flick. So that's a push ball. So now what I'm not understanding now is how in depth is the actual dribbling mechanic, because they've showed that rainbow flick before, and I thought that was like encompassing in the dribbling, but maybe the dribbling mechanic isn't really that robust, because I've seen that one and I've seen the twist he does in the trailer, which I mean I'm a little bummed out about it, but it kind of, I mean, I guess it makes a little bit of sense, because I mean when you push it away, that means you're releasing possession, which also means there's an opportunity for someone else to take it. So it seems like probably playing distance in your defensive stance is going to be the best bet as far as having a good defense. Like these guys are just running straight at him over here, just running straight headlining. That's, I mean, honestly, if you played Rocket League, if you played most sports games or sports-like games, any competitive game, honestly, running straight at your opponent doesn't really work that well, generally speaking. So, we'll see how that kind of plays out. We're gonna come over here. I'm gonna be reading the Reddit post here. Let's see what they got. I'm gonna make this into full screen as well, Bob. And maybe, you know, I get a little zoom on there too. There we go. All right, rematch, feature focus, push ball and control mechanics. Hi all, here's some information on two important mechanics, ball control and push ball. Video illustrating these mechanics, we just watched that. For ball control is a passive ability of the player. When you move close to the ball, you automatically control it and take possession. This only happens if the ball is not too powerful. What powerful status means is another story, which we'll cover in a separate post. All right, I'm gonna be straight up. I don't like how you automatically control it here. Honestly, I say if they're gonna do this, make it where you just have to have an input to control the ball. That way you don't accidentally do anything you don't want to do. So let's say if you're running and you're close to a teammate and you do a push ball, or even if it's not a push ball, even if it's just a pass, a tap pass that they've mentioned before. Let's say you want to do a tap pass and you have your middle player, mind frame, you have your middle player, and then you have one other person on the other side. And let's say you're trying to hit to this guy. You should be able to do a tap pass, and if this guy doesn't put the input to control the ball, it will like roll through his legs or something to then get the third person. The reason why I say this is because once you start making things become automatically, you automatically, ironically, decrease the skill ceiling. So making everything, give the player as much control as you can. Obviously not a ridiculous amount where things become tedious, but something like ball control, to be honest, the player should be able to control whether they want to, or just should be able to control if they want to take control of the ball. So that is already, I'm a little bit, I'm like, if I don't want to get control and my teammate actually pushes the ball to me or taps the ball to me and I don't want the pass, like that kind of defeats the purpose. Let me press a button to then grab it, and the timing of when you press it depends on the efficiency of your control. So if you want to take control of a pass that's coming to your right and you want to go left, your timing will dictate how smooth that transition is. Obviously, I don't know how to implement that, nor if it's possible, but that would be my 2 cents. All right, we're gonna keep it going. Ball control happens around. Actually, wait. Well, I want to touch on this one. The powerful. I think this means they've mentioned this kind of in the shoot post that if you have a high power shot, it will just bounce off as if you're defending. So if you're kind of a body block it, but obviously something that's super powerful, you won't be able to control because it will have a ricochet off of the foot you're trying to control, unless you know you're OP. But that doesn't seem like it's going to be in the game. Ball control happens around the player's control hitbox. When we detect that a ball control is about to happen, an interruptible pre-animation starts, which ends with the player being in possession. Unless something happens to the ball in these few frames, like another player controlling or hitting the ball, or if the player decides to change directions, for instance, to let the ball pass through to another teammate. I might have spoken too soon, y'all. Hold on. So, we're gonna keep it reading a little bit. The control hitbox is made of a capsule approximately the player's height, as well as a larger rounded hitbox at the player's feet. This means the player can't control balls that are higher than the player's height, i.e. 1.85 meters, and can control balls from further away when they are close to the ground. That makes sense. You can use your legs to kind of grab it. Obviously, you can't do handballs, so really only your head or chest is the only way to do it if it's above your waistline, really. To interact with balls higher than this, players need to perform a volley or a jump, both of which will be a focus on upcoming posts. The control hitbox is slightly larger around the player's legs. A ball close to the ground can be controlled from further away. Yep. Okay, so the volley is probably like the header that we've seen, or like pretty much I guess a header, because that's the only thing you can really hit when you jump for a ball is going to be your head. But so they did mention this where like a player controlling, no, I can't read, guys. Where is it at? Okay. Or if the player decides to change direction, for instance, to let the ball pass through to another player. I don't know what that phrasing means. I hope it means what I think it is, where if the ball's coming and to negate the control of the ball, I guess you have to move in a different direction. So if you want to pass through to another teammate, I guess that's the way to saying it. I'm not sure. I hope it is. I'm gonna keep it reading though, just because we can speculate and kind of make assumptions all we want, but until we get the beta, we really just don't know. When we perform a ball control, you get possession and you automatically move the ball along with you. However, there's an important drawback. When you are in possession, you are vulnerable. This means that nearby opponents can tackle you, make you stumble or fall, and you briefly lose control of your player, and of course you also lose control of the ball, leaving it free for anyone to interact with. More information on tackles will be in another post. We're starting to see a pattern here. Yeah, we are. I want more. Slow clap more. But basically, when you're in possession, you're really under pressure. I think that's kind of self-explanatory, and I think it makes sense. You're the most vulnerable when you are pretty much all eyes are on you when you have the ball. And I'm not necessarily, having it automatically be invulnerable when you're in possession, I think kind of makes sense. I get it. It is again, it will become kind of just like a tackling fest if people can just like pre-tackle you all the time. I feel like that's just gonna be a recipe for chaos. So as of right now, I think it's a pretty good mechanic, because choosing when you're gonna be in possession and not in possession seems like it's gonna have its own skill ceiling. Push ball. This is where the push ball mechanic comes in. By pressing A on PC or Xbox, you push the ball in the direction of your movement input, releasing possession. So kind of like a tap, but a push. Makes sense because the short tap was X and A. So yeah, okay. This means you are no longer vulnerable to tackles. If another player tries to tackle you when you are not in possession, you automatically avoid their tackle. It does not impact your movement. Push ball allows you to keep the ball close to you while limiting the risk of being tackled. It must be used with care since you are not in possession. You can't control the ball directly. And if you do a push ball towards an opponent or a teammate, they will take possession of it. So that's going to be, I feel like the big factor on this matter is going to be the distance the push ball can be pushed. if that's a finite already, if it's a finite really push, or if you can kind of, if it's a little more dynamic with how long you hold A or whatnot. That's really going to be the deciding factor if this push ball mechanic works, especially how when we start dealing with network and connecting to the server and how everyone's connecting. Because now, if it's too close, it's going to be very split second, and then once things, if it feels unfair, that's not going to be a good look. To be honest, no, we'll keep it going. Actually, players also move slower in possession, so releasing possession by using push ball allows you to move faster on the pitch, alternating between possession and push ball. You can optimize your movement speed while avoiding enemy tackles, making push ball an important mechanic to master. Note that just like the tap mechanic, the push ball features can be modified to become a lob push ball. If you hold RB on PC and Xbox while pressing A, you'll do a push. You'll push the ball high in the air, aka a rainbow flick. This is very useful when you want to push the ball in the direction in which your enemy is coming from. A regular push would either give the enemy possession or get tackled, but rainbow flick will avoid this. It can be countered by a jump though. Okay, I'm glad they have counters. Yeah, now I'm the rainbow flick is a push, so man, I hope they I hope the dribbling is pretty finessey. I thought the rainbow flick was going to be in the dribbling kind of category, but maybe the dribbling isn't really in there. It depends. I don't know. It seems like it's really going to be kind of a mental game here, because you have to decide what to use. Are you going to push it left, right, back? Are you going to flick it? All depends on, I guess, the timing. If it's going to be more of like a rock, paper, scissors, where you kind of have to kind of predict what they're going to do, or if it's going to be something that's more reaction based, which, I mean, will have its own trade-off, because someone who can kind of master the taps and the push ball and the flicks can be a force to be reckoned with indeed. We mentioned a number of features in this post: ball status, volleys, dives, tackles. We still have a lot of mechanics to cover. The next featured post will be about volley action, which brings together the 3 previous mechanics we've already covered: shoot, tap, and push ball. Stay tuned, and as always, feel free to ask your questions in the comments below. All right, I have a couple. Let's see any comments. In the clip, the player takes possession of the ball with their chest. Is this risk of jumping to control it, or is that because the ball bounced? Yeah, I think that's just gonna be an animation when it's in the vicinity of the chest, to be honest. I think if it's low enough, you'll take possession, similar to, yeah. So that's how the dribbling mechanic works. Kind of cool, actually, having a loose ball possession. Yeah, I guess that is technically, maybe there is no dribbling mechanic. This is the dribbling. Push ball can indeed be qualified as dribbling. Is this like a dev? I don't know. But there's also an actual dribbling mechanic that will be featured in upcoming. Oh, protection stance. Yay. All right. As time goes, it gives more, but it makes more sense because more. Okay, that wasn't a question, but we're good. What I am hoping they kind of do, because the ball possession thing, and what I hope they do, which is something similar to Rocket League, if you played Rocket League, that if you have, let's say there is a cross, somebody hits a cross, and you have your teammate and your enemy or your opponent going for the ball, and let's say they're going for a header, they jump up and they try to do the headbutt. I hope they don't just pick one, but allow it to be a clash to where the ball will ricochet and go somewhere else. So this is very Rocket League does this really well, where you're going up and you're pretty head to head. It will just be, we call it a 50-50 in Rocket League. It'll be a 50-50, and the ball, it kind of just goes, and it kind of matches the power and the speed of which the two people were coming in at. But it gives that random aspect that not everyone has to adjust their play style and adapt. I hope they do something like this, the same way as if two people are approaching a ball and, like, I don't know, they slide tackle, they're trying to get possession of it, that the ball would just ricochet because two opposing forces are hitting in opposite directions. Well, I hope this is the case they do it in, because if they just end up being a selective thing where it's like, okay, well, this person technically had it first, or this person got it first, and the other person's header just kind of whiffs or control just drops and they go somewhere else, that can add a very unfair layer where you're like, I was there, I was in the ball, and I just didn't get chosen to have the ball based on the servers or network, whatever it is. And I feel like that can be a feeling of unfairness. And if that keeps happening, then it kind of gets annoying, because when things get close, I think when things become very close and it can go either side, I think the best thing is that might be a point to where you enter that random factor that now people just have to adjust and replay. So we'll see. That possession couldn't be iffy, especially when they're talking about those frames. I hope they add something like that. I mean, I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. I am interested. I think I like the idea of it. Obviously, in practicality, we'll see how it feels like with the beta and all these things. But the game is still looking good. The possession, the depth in it is a lot. It seems like a lot to think about, a lot to react to, which I'm all for. I do hope they clarify the if you can if you can hit a pass through your teammate to like an opposite teammate on the opposite side, because I mean that just makes you have to read the field and see the bigger picture a little bit more. But let me know what you think about the push mechanics and the possession mechanics so far. Are you guys still excited for Rematch? Is it the more you know, the more excited you're getting, or are you getting a little more hesitant? Leave all that in the comments, man. I'd love to discuss it. This is honestly probably gonna be my main competitive game. I'm going pro in it. I told you guys. But until next time, if you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.